telling you to fasten your seatbelts. It's not a regular hemp show, but it is very, very interesting news that I need to bring to all the hemp farmers in South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota for sure, because it's going to kind of change the environment here, and it's going to cause all the farmers to need to make some decisions if it should come to pass. It's step one of 3 steps, but it happened just a couple hours ago. And it is our story today. Welcome to CANNA, broadcasting all the hemp news and the ancillary hemp news that make up why we are in the hemp business. It's going to be very interesting. Brought to you by CANNA RHX, of course, our hemp company here in Minnesota at the intersections of Highway 2 and 75. I am broadcasting from Studio B today because we have some new lights. And got them unpacked and hooked up and just wanted to try them out. On the one hand, I think I'm looking at the monitors here as I move around. And on the one hand, they're really great, but they don't look good in, see what happens there, you can see the reflections. They don't look good in my glasses. So they require some more work. On the one hand, they're really neat about the shadows in the face and everything like that. And it's weird to look out at them, to look at you in the camera. But some really big news. By the way, we are days away from our website being up with our own personal products that we are so excited about. And, making a website and putting products on it is old hat to me. More than 10 years as custom work for many other companies and some things that I've done in the past of other things. But it's a big deal when we're doing CBD products. We got to get it just right. And I think we've got some exciting things to bring to you. So please, please stick around. That will be shown to you in just a few days here. And it's been a partnership of a whole lot of people from my business partner's family, from 15, 12 and 10 years old. The kids have really chipped in and done some amazing work, and we listen to their advice as far as what's hip and what's not hip. And they are some really neat kids. And of course, then the parents, in their 30s, and I not in my 30s. But never dismiss the opinion of an old grizzly. That book goes all the way back to Harvey Mackay. If you've not read How to Swim with the Sharks and Not Get Eaten Alive, boy, if you're going into marketing, sales, business of any kind, that absolutely should be one of your books. Even if you're going to be a farmer, that was before email, the internet, anything like that. That is a must read. When I'm doing marketing or doing sales training, guys send their staff to me to get, John, just give them a review, get them worked up and trained into how to fit into my organization, and give them some basic sales training. Because, it is a job. There is a method. Even people who you're selling to want to be treated and pitched in a certain way. They want to be treated in a certain way. And I have been doing that for people since the 70s, when I first learned the consultant sell, thanks to my good and dear friends, 150 miles north here of the border, not north of the border, but 150 miles north of me at the Yamaha Canada headquarters that was in Winnipeg and then moved to Toronto, Canada. And my fortuitous luck of being hired by them, first as an independent Canadian franchise, and then being taken over by Nippon Gaki, Yamaha Music in Canada, or in Yamaha Music in Japan, was absolutely the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And the 70s was a great time for music in the world, not as much in America. but in the world. And Yamaha was mushrooming at that time in music across the world, as they were in their motorsports and other things that Yamaha did. And it was a great time to be employed by them. And I will never forget that time. Never, ever. But I got to get to the story today. We have one story for you. It's an incredible story. It does not directly affect us in our business and in the hemp business, but it is going to affect everybody in a significant way. And also it's going to affect you personally if you're in North Dakota, and there is going to be spillover into Minnesota. And there is no way that Minnesota cannot attend to this and do this themselves when it's all around us now. It's in Canada, it's in South Dakota, and not sure about Wisconsin, but if it's not, it's coming. And if North Dakota tumbles to this, North Dakota, often written up as the most conservative state in the Union. I mean, it is, the bastion of moms making bread, and a lot of moms not working yet. And I don't mean to be sexist about that. Obviously the women's movement is strong in North Dakota too, but it is still a bit of that throwback to a lot of dads bringing in the bacon and mom having that more traditional role and stuff. It's that old conservatism. But today, a couple of hours ago, in the North Dakota House, which is more conservative, they say, than the Senate, they passed firmly legalizing recreational use of marijuana. And see, by saying that word, this show today will not be able to have paid advertising on it. So I just wiped myself out of that. Facebook is crazy. I can say that and I won't get demonetized. But by saying what I did say will get me demonetized. But I'm telling it to you anyway because it's so important. And it's interesting because, like the sheriffs are saying, we don't want it, but we think it's better that it's in control of the government than not to be. And I would tell you that's been my mantra for 30 years. It's better to have control of it. It's not yet my personal choice to do, but there's more and more evidence that from a medical standpoint, there is stuff in these two products, the cannabinoid side of it, the CBD side of it, which I fully embrace. I was just talking to my partner last night, and he's always been saying there is 200 chemicals, CBD, CBG, CBH, CBN, and all sorts of CB somethings that we haven't found yet. And the number was always 200. And now the number is in the 600s. And that's in hemp without THC. And you get into the THC world and you have found many more. If you want to call it tens more, dozens more, hundreds more. And, they haven't found many or even one yet that is something like the chemicals like methamphetamine, where you can take it and you are messed up forever, or the other kinds of drugs that by taking it, you're just flattened, zombied, wackoed. Now, of course, you're going to tell me, but John, I've seen the movies. We've seen the situations where what they call potheads. But there's two things at play here. One of them are those people, sat down by the river and just bought this on the open market with no knowledge of what else was sprayed on the chemical. without any knowledge of what kind of dosing they were taking day after day, with no knowledge of what else they were doing to their bodies or weren't doing to their bodies as far as regular nutrition, but mainly what other chemicals were being applied at the same time. Just like a product called Thai Stick is actually marijuana wrapped around a stick with another significant product poured on it. I do not know that product. You can see I'm not into this. I am not a drug user. I'm not even an alcohol user now as of 3 years this month. Right about today, I think. It's right about today. For 3 years, I have not had any alcohol other than a toast at a wedding or, something like that where a slight hurrah was passed out. And I don't think I ever will be for the rest of my life. Happy to talk to you about why. Not critical of you if you have made another decision. But there are, for some reason, the cannabinoids that are in this product, starting out as hemp and cannabis, seem to have fallen in place with the human body and brain in a magnificent way. And so now that states have reconsidered this and are opening it up for human consumption, it seems to CBD liquid, because I am not a fan of just CBD, where only that is extracted from a plant, like an isolate made back into oil. I believe in what's called full spectrum, where they, squeeze out a liquid or the oil of the plant. And that's what I've been taking. And it sure seems to help my peripheral neuropathy. My business partner gives it to me in a bottle like this. This happens to be from one of our good friends and partners down in Fargo. This is her process from Prairie Products. But it's the same bottle. It's a nose, like a nose dropper, if you remember when we were kids. And, not that much. I take about that much a couple times a day. She's got one for putting you to sleep at night. It's got some melatonin and stuff in it. And then she's got one for focus and energy. And I take that one in the morning. And I often take this one about 30 minutes before I go to bed. And I feel that it, also gives me a more comfortable night's sleep. Because I have the aches and pains of a 70-year-old now. Didn't think that I would, but it seems to be upon me. So anyway, this is great. The lower chamber voted in North Dakota 56-38. And I would consider that a pretty good endorsement that they sent House Bill 1420. And there's some humor in that, by the way. 420 in the afternoon was the considered time that you would stop and, have a little taste. And how this ended up to be Bill 1420, because I think they assigned them in order. But so to the Senate, now they passed it. It goes to the Senate. They are going to tax it 15% for the consumer that would buy it in a dispensary. You won't be able to buy it in your local grocery store. You won't be able to buy it in your local liquor store. You won't be able to buy it on the street from somebody. You will be taxed 15%, buying it into a number of dispensaries that will be located around the state. I have that number here. And they will allow a certain number of places around the state to grow it. It will be very, very controlled. That's good. I endorse that heavily. And then they will also charge the seller who is selling it to you 10%. So it will carry a 25% tax. I'm okay with that. That will go to the state. That will go to the state for two reasons. One of the reasons is to administer the program. It will cost more, because the police, sheriffs, highway patrolmen that will pick you up will have some more work. They will have to decide if you will have to demonstrate that you have a legally purchased amount of stuff with you. They will have to decide that you have not used it in such a way that it impedes your driving. Some of you who will have done wrong will have to be taken in and processed, and you may be punished. And this costs money, and I get it. I hope that North Dakotans and the people that would visit the state will realize that the state has done a great thing here by giving you the opportunity to recreate in this fashion, and that you will follow the rules. But some of you won't. And so then you're going to get punished, and that costs money. But for the rest of you, look, you just got a freebie handed to you here. You can enjoy something just like you can enjoy alcohol. But then the part of the rules are you will then not go driving, and you will not pick up your children from school, and you will not go get a pizza. You will get it delivered. Savvy? So, yeah, we have company here. These are the rules. Let us hope that North Dakota, the conservative state, says, rather have it regulated than underground, where my kids can buy it from a guy on the street. I hope that they can go and find those people, guys or gals, and punish them accordingly so that they can disappear. And these things can be regulated in a proper fashion. It happened today. Put it on your calendar. February 22nd, 2021. Yeah, 2021. We'll bring you more news as it passes. We'll wait to see what Minnesota do. It had a reading in the House last week. We'll see where that takes us. That is Chat CANNA for today. The snow is starting to fall. They are saying it's going to be up to 4 inches before it's done. And then there's no snow for 10 days, but there will be rain at the end of those 10 days. Just a little Wayback Machine, my father, who used to sit right here in the last 5 years of his life. He passed 11 years ago at almost the age of 95. He said that once in his life, going back to 1915, that they were in the field on March 8th, one time in his life. Otherwise, never saw it till maybe the last of March here in the Red River Valley. That's Chat CANNA for today. I hope you join me more. If you enjoy the show, please like us on Facebook. Please subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell, and we'll tell you when the next show is coming on. For those of you on Twitch, thank you so much for joining us. Pass it around to your friends. Please make some kind of comment down below so that I know that you liked us. We really appreciate you watching us, and we look forward to seeing you again really, really soon. In the meantime, has these nice last couple of days been just really nice, both for the spirit and getting out and inhaling some warmer temps. I'll see you again tomorrow about the same time.